Hello for part 3. Technology has been so interesting, but we are committed to this. Nicole and I are here, and now we're going to talk about Mars into Libra. So, here we go. I pulled this card the other day in the broadcast, and again, and hopefully it's going to let me this time. Transformation.
No, the internet does not want you to transform. It's over.
Like, no. We are putting our desires into action. We are putting our desire for pleasure into action. You know, Libra is an interesting placement for Mars because it's in its opposite sign. But I think this is a chance to transform this vibration into one that's working for you. Mars. I think the highest vibration of Mars is like passion and action. I think the other side of Mars is when anger comes through, when you're not able to pursue your passion, when you're not able to take action on what you feel strongly about, the causes that you feel strongly about. So during this time of Mars and Libra, it's time to transform that. Those places where you've held yourself back over areas of wanting harmony, and instead choose to follow your heart and follow that passion and action. And in that, I pulled some interesting cards with this. I pulled fighting. I feel like we do this. I feel like we fight our passions. I feel like we fight our desires. You know, like in the Buddhist tradition, they're like, desire is your cause of suffering. And it's an interesting theory, and I feel like our focus on our lack of attaining our desires is kind of like the cause of suffering when we're focused on that lack. But I feel like when we're actually moving towards and pursuing what feels good for us, what feels passionate, what makes us feel alive, that's when we're in momentum in our life. And that's when we come alive and we come into our being. I feel like we're given desires to fulfill, to pull us where we want to go. So we're transforming that thing. We're letting go of that old belief of that. And we're tuning into the lover vibration within us. And this may be, about somebody outside of ourselves that we love, or this might be about fulfilling our own desires, taking that energy of the masculine, willing to take action, taking that energy of the feminine, the Venus action that's also in Libra, and the creativity, and leading us on that path of transformation into where we want to go. So with this, I pulled some other interesting cards too. I pulled laziness and I pulled aloneness. I think you need to take some downtime in this to recognize, write down, what do I desire? What do I crave? We get so caught up in what do I have to do that sometimes we forget those desires, that it's okay to have those desires and it's okay to pursue them. So take a little quiet time, take a little aloneness, get clear in your head. Get clear in your heart, get clear in your being, so that you can take the appropriate action into this and stop fighting what it is you desire. And along with that, from the goddesses, I pulled Yemaya, golden opportunity. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. Take action on your passion. Allow yourself to feel good. And I remember we talked about with this the other day, and I hope you go there again. You talked about sensuality, remember, with the other day, and making things your lover, enjoying the pleasure. And that is so the Libra energy, pleasure and beauty. So if Nicole brings that up, then I'll tell my story again. I'm going to pass it over to you.
Well, let's see what comes out, because I didn't pull that card again, but man, I went into an impassioned speech about that, and I really liked it.
So impassioned. It was so great.
Yeah, and I really remember liking what I said and liking what you said during this. So it's really sad that I don't remember exactly what I said.
Well, I remember what I said. So maybe if I'll say what I said, it'll take you back into what you said.
Yeah, and I'm going to do this, and then we're going to see if it comes out. If not, then you can kind of respark it. But I'll pull out the sexuality card and see if it re-inspires me. Because I never know what's going to happen. Okay. So this is what I'm getting for, hold on, let me find that sexual. Okay. This is what I'm getting for Mars and Libra this time. And I love what Mimi says about, how in astrology, they say that it's Mars doesn't like being in Libra, but I think that's kind of BS, to be honest with you too, because it's an opposite sign, because Aries and Libra, aren't they like?
Yeah, they're opposite. They hold.
I don't think they don't like each other. I think that they hold the other side of the coin, right? It's like we are one and we are one. So what Mars says is, in that Aries energy, is like, I am one. I am an individual, and I have this body, and I have my own perspective and my point of view. And what Libra is telling us is, yeah, but you're one, but we're also one. We're connected, and we have relationships that we have to learn from each other. And yes, we are one. We are mirrors for each other. And so what I see with Mars and Libra, here's what comes up. So we got that morality card, and I have the projection card. So what happens, what's going to happen for you in this energy is be careful of projections and realizing that whatever that other person is mirroring to you, the good or the bad and the ugly, that something is being triggered within you. And so the good stuff you can make. I've done this in my life where I've projected all this good stuff on somebody else, but then when I started seeing who they really were, I was so disappointed in them. It was me. I put my story on them, made them perfect. And then I started seeing all this crap unravel and go, oh, they're just human. And I think that's what Mars wants to say is, like, be honest with how you're moving forward in your relationships, and that Lovers card. And it's like, that Lovers card is a very beautiful card, because what it tells you is that there's 3 aspects to love: sexuality, which we'll go there, and compassion is the highest. So sexuality is the lowest, and compassion is the highest, which is also unconditional love. And then love is in the middle. And that's what kind of links both sexuality and compassion together, making you a full spectrum relationship. So when you see those projections, how can you get into compassion? Because that's where the love is, right? So first is letting go. So we have to let go of what we think we know. We have to let go of hurt or disappointments of the other. We have to be more receptive. And this is also sexual. I mean, she's naked, and this is the divine feminine. This is sexuality. And then the Thunderbolt card, that's that Mars energy. It's like there's that masculine thunderbolt into receptivity. Boom. And this is sexuality to me. So maybe more sensual or sexual in your relationships with this Mars energy in this Libra sensuality type of thing. And so what I got for these is, and I already did an impassioned speech, which I think did not erase on the first one. So this is the commitment card. Shh. You might see some uglier stuff in your relationship, but what commitments did you make? Did you make them when everything was happy and everything? I can commit to them here, or did they commit to you when you were showing all your good rosy stuff? But when the other stuff comes out, what are you committed to? You committed to the work? You committed to yourself? You committed to your heart? You committed to love? You committed to God? You got to think about what you're committing to. You're not committing, when you make a commitment to come on this planet, you did not just commit to the rainbows and butterflies. There's a lot of stuff going down on this planet right now that isn't pretty. And you committed to that part of life too. And so you can be a light chaser and think that everything is going to be fine, which in a certain way always turns out okay. But you have to go through the hard stuff too. That's the stuff. I was just talking about this with shamanism. The word shaman means the wounded healer. And the only reason why they can heal and help other people is because they had to go through their wounding and navigate all of that to help other people navigate their wounding. And wounding and all of this other stuff, wars, it's all part of this third dimension that we have to navigate and that you committed to. So if you're committing to your partner, they have a war inside, you have a war inside, so commit to your peace. But you have to go through the battlefield. And then let's talk about the sexuality card. And this kind of coincides with what I just said. It's like you can make love to the great stuff, but why don't you just make love to your life? Make love to everything. Make love to the scary stuff. I know that sounds weird, but it's like, yeah, but if you're impassioned by your life and impassioned by everything that happens and you accept it for what it is, even if it scares the crap out of you, you transform, because sexuality and that energy is transforming. Sexuality turns two little things into a life, into creation. So use your sexual energy to transform, make love to all the things in your life and transform them into life again.
I love it.
All that death energy, transform it into something you want to create with. You have that ability. You're a creator. So you can own it or you can be victim to it. That's your choice. You could be victim to every situation that happens in your life. Oh my God, there's someone else that's trying to bring me down. Or you can come at it and make love to it and go, you don't have to make love to everybody in your life, but it's like, make love to that situation. Where can you make love? You know what I mean? Not just sex, but make love to that, what is showing up for you. Make it love. It's all love. Make it love instead of fear or disharmony.
I love that. So what we talked about the other day with the sensuality was so funny because she was like, enjoy yourself, enjoy your life. And, like just whatever comes, like as you're eating, make love to it. And I laughed and told the story how I literally the other night had gotten like amazing chocolate, like amazing salted caramel, dark chocolate. And I was like, you are my lover tonight to the chocolate. You have that opportunity. And it's one of those things, there's that passion, there's that Mars energy. And I feel like everything's vibrational. So as you like make love to your chocolate, being like, you are my lover. Thank you for existing. I love you. You bring that energy in. You carry that energy in. I feel like we all are primal beings that have this desire to have that kind of passion. And so if you feel like that passion is missing in your life for whatever reason, there is always chocolate. And that chocolate just segues into more passion, being like, oh, she likes passion. Let's like start feeding in. So we talked a little bit about that. And
I totally agree. And I love this whole thing around, not just the sexual word, make love, but make love, not war. Right. And so we're having, yes, there is wars out physically, externally, but the one that you have not control over, but you have responsibility for is the war that's going in here. So you get to choose if you're making love or war within yourself. What are you, like what Mimi had, that fighting card, what are you fighting against in there?
Yeah.
What do you like totally reject? What are you fighting against? And it's not good versus evil. I just saw Don Miguel and he was talking about this. It's like, it's not good versus evil. It's truth versus lies. And your lies are your belief systems. So if you're fighting against something, it's probably because you have a belief structure or system that doesn't work anymore. Because the truth is, we're connected. The truth is, you're alive. The truth is, you will go through a death process. And the truth is, there's part of you that never does die. So what is the truth? You have your truths. And the reason why we fight each other is because my truth is different from your truth because of the way that we have different perspectives of things. I'm 4'11". One of my best friends is 6'3". We're going to have a very different perspective of the world, literally. He's a man. I'm a woman. He was heavier when he was younger, and I've always been waif thin. We're going to have very different perspectives of the world, literally. Doesn't mean I'm right and he's wrong and vice versa, but there is some universal truths that you have to connect to, that master energy that you got to connect to, that doesn't change. There's truth. And you have the ability to make love in your life and love the things that happen and love the opportunities that you have, even if they're hard, there's still opportunities, or you can fight with them.
Yeah. You know what I love what Abraham says. Abraham talks about like the contrast, those hard things in our life, the contrast, and we need that to like kind of experience, oh, I don't want that. You know, it helps us go into our desires, what we do want. It's all working for us. I fully believe, even in the hard times, I believe in a helpful universe. I am so pronoia that I believe that everything is always working out for us. Everything's helping us on our path. Make love to it. Love what shows up. I think Rumi always says that. Love whatever shows up.
I you know, that's exactly how, I mean, that Scorpio energy kind of feeds into that. It's like, you know, even if it's dark and misunderstood, doesn't necessarily mean that it's like trying to destroy you.
Right.
You can let it destroy you, or you can, you know,
let it transform you.
Transform you. Exactly. And, you know, it's one of those things of like, look, how can you think that you're not being supported when you are on a floating rock in the sky? You're on a floating rock in the sky, orbiting around a big light source that just happens to be protected by some crazy magnetic field. So the rays of light that light source is bursting out at you isn't frying you at every moment. Like, you don't think that you're being supported? Let's rethink that. That's all a bunch of illusion, because I mean, the earth is supporting us. I mean, you are on a floating friggin' rock in space. And you don't think that your life can't be completely taken care of? We just make it harder on ourselves, to be honest with you. If you're in the flow of your divine nature, just like the earth doesn't think about what it has to do, it just makes that magnetic field. But we're making it funky on here because we're out of alignment. So get yourself back in alignment. That's all.
That is, find that balance. Libra. I love it. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to now segue, after we get off this, our cards that we pulled the other day. We finished off with Moon and Capricorn. So I'm going to put that together on this. And after that, we have our host spiel where you can check us out. So I'm going to go do that. And hopefully next week, our GPS will not have to come in 3 different segments. Technology will support us just the way the earth does.
Holy moly. I can't believe that we have 3 different, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. So thanks for watching, and keep watching if you want to hear all the impassioned energy that we talk about Moon in Capricorn.